The room went quiet so fast, it felt like someone had cut the power. 1 second, the bar was loud, glasses clinking, a jukebox humming, laughter spilling over. The next, every sound fell flat, swallowed by a single sharp gasp. A waitress stood frozen in the middle of the floor, her eyes wide, her hands clutching torn fabric. And the biker who'd done it looked like he'd just seen a ghost. People think kindness always comes softly. A smile, a tip, a polite word. But sometimes it crashes into a room, uninvited, and changes everything in an instant. If stories about unexpected kindness and real human moments move you, go ahead and subscribe to your channel now. Like the video, drop a comment with your thoughts, and share it with someone who could use a reminder that compassion still matters. The waitress's name was Rachel. She'd worked the late shift at Miller's Roadhouse for almost 2 years. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills, and she was proud of how she handled the regulars, truckers, factory workers, bikers passing through town. She knew how to read a room, when to joke, when to keep her head down, when to offer a free refill without being asked. That night, a motorcycle club rolled in just before closing. Leather vests, heavy boots, loud voices. Most of the staff tensed up, but Rachel grabbed a tray and walked over like she always did. She believed in treating everyone the same. One biker stood out, big frame, thick beard, tattoos running down his arms. His name patch read Caleb. He wasn't yelling, but he wasn't kind either. He snapped his fingers when he wanted service and complained about the food like it had personally offended him. Rachel stayed calm. She'd seen worse. When she brought the check, Caleb stood up too fast, bumping into her. She stumbled. A chair scraped. And in the chaos, his hand caught the front of her shirt. Fabric tore. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't intentional. But the sound, sharp and final, cut through the bar like a gunshot. Rachel froze. Embarrassment burned her face. She clutched her shirt, trying to cover herself, her mind racing. The bar went silent. Someone laughed nervously. Someone else muttered a curse. Caleb opened his mouth to say something rough, something defensive. Then he saw her, not her body. Not anything scandalous. He saw the scars. They crossed her chest and collarbone in pale, uneven lines. Old burn scars. Surgical marks. A story written into skin that no one could fake. Caleb's face drained of color, his tough expression cracked. The words died in his throat. The room stayed quiet. Even the bikers behind him stopped smirking. Rachel swallowed hard. "It's okay," she said softly. Even though her hands were shaking, it was an accident. Caleb didn't move. He stared like the world had tilted. "My sister," he said, his voice low and rough. "She had scars like that." Rachel looked up at him, surprised. "Fire," he continued. "House went up when we were kids. She pulled me out. I watched them carry her away." No one spoke. The bartender leaned forward, resting his elbows on the counter. Rachel nodded slowly. "I was 8, she said. "Kitchen accident. I spent months in the hospital." Caleb stepped back like he'd been punched. He pulled off his vest, then his jacket, then carefully held it out to her. "Please," he said. "Take it." Rachel hesitated, then wrapped it around herself. It smelled like leather and smoke and road dust. "I'm sorry," Caleb said. The words came out heavy, like they'd been waiting a long time. "I shouldn't have acted the way I did. I didn't mean to hurt you." Rachel looked at him, really looked at him. "Thank you for saying that." One of the bikers cleared his throat. Another shifted uncomfortably. The moment had stripped something raw from the room. Caleb reached into his pocket and pulled out his wallet. He placed a stack of bills on the table, far more than the check. "For the trouble," he said. Then, quieter, "and for being kind when you didn't have to be." Rachel's eyes stung. "You don't owe me anything." "I know," he replied. "That's why I want to." The bartender rang a bell behind the counter. "Drinks are on the house," he said, "for everyone." A few cheers broke out. The tension eased. The jukebox clicked back on, low and gentle this time. Rachel went to the back to fix her shirt. In the mirror, she took a deep breath. She'd spent years hiding those scars, bracing herself for stares or pity. Tonight, something had shifted, not because of what happened, but because of how it ended. When she came back out, Caleb was sitting alone, head bowed. She walked over. "Hey," she said. "You okay?" He nodded. "Just thinking about my sister. She'd like you." Rachel smiled. "I hope she's okay." She is, he said. Married. Kids. Happy. That's good, Rachel said. Then she surprised herself by adding, "You're welcome back here. Anytime." Caleb looked up, eyes bright. "Thank you." The bikers left not long after, quieter than they'd arrived. As the door closed behind them, the bartender shook his head. "Didn't see that coming." Rachel wiped down a table. "Me neither." The rest of the shift passed in a blur. Tips were generous. Conversations felt warmer. Even strangers seemed closer somehow. When Rachel clocked out, she found something waiting by her car, a small paper bag. Inside was a folded note and a patch from a biker vest. The note read, "For the road ahead, keep being kind. It matters more than you know." Rachel held the patch in her palm and smiled. Weeks later, Caleb came back. This time alone. He was polite. He said please and thank you. He asked Rachel how her night was and listened to the answer. They didn't become best friends. They didn't change each other's lives overnight. But every time he came in, the air felt lighter, kinder. And Rachel, she stopped hiding her scars so much. She realized they didn't just tell a story of pain. They told a story of survival, of courage, of people who keep going. Kindness doesn't always look heroic. Sometimes it's choosing empathy when embarrassment would be easier. Sometimes it's offering a jacket. Sometimes it's an apology that comes from the gut. That night at Miller's Roadhouse could have ended in anger, shame, or violence. Instead, it ended in understanding. All because two strangers chose kindness in a moment that could have gone very wrong. So, the next time you're faced with an awkward moment, a mistake, or someone who rubs you the wrong way, pause. Look closer. You never know what story is written just beneath the surface, and maybe, just maybe, your kindness will be the thing that freezes a room and then slowly, gently warms it back up.